Hey Reddit, I really need to get this off my chest and maybe get some advice because I'm driving myself insane over here. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 2 years now, and things used to be great. Like, really great. But lately something's off, and I can't shake this gut feeling that he's cheating on me. Worse, I think it's with this younger girl he works with, and the more I think about it, the more the pieces seem to fit. I just need to know if I'm overreacting or if I should trust my instincts. So here's the deal. About 3 months ago, I started noticing little changes. He's always been pretty open with his phone. Not like he'd hand it over, but he'd leave it lying around, and I'd see him texting or whatever. Now, he's glued to it. Like he takes it everywhere, even to the bathroom, which he never used to do. And when I'm around, he tilts the screen away or flips it face down real quick. I asked him about it once, casually, like, who's blowing up your phone lately? And he just laughed it off, saying it's work stuff. But come on, work stuff at 10 p.m. on a Saturday? Then there's this coworker of his. Let's call her Kay. She's maybe 23, he's 29, I'm 28, super bubbly, and apparently started at his office around the time this all kicked off. He's mentioned her in passing before, like, oh, Kay's hilarious, she's always cracking jokes. But lately, her name's coming up way more. Like, Kay said this funny thing today. Or Kay and I had to stay late to finish this project. At first, I didn't think much of it. I'm not the jealous type, but it's the way he talks about her now. His face lights up a little too much, and he gets this goofy smile that I haven't seen him use for me in a while. The staying late thing is another red flag. He's never been a workaholic, but suddenly, he's stuck at the office, a couple nights a week. Last Thursday, he didn't get home until almost midnight, and when I asked how his day was, he was all vague. Oh, just busy, the usual. But then I saw a takeout bag in his car the next day from this Thai place we both love, and he didn't bring any home for me. We used to get takeout together all the time, so why is he eating it without me now? I'm scared to ask because I don't want to sound paranoid, but my brain's screaming that he grabbed dinner with someone. The biggest thing that's killing me, though, he's been distant. Not just physically, though yeah, we're not as close in that way lately, but emotionally too. He used to ask about my day, plan little dates, even just cuddle up on the couch and watch dumb shows. Now he's too tired or stressed from work, but he's got energy to scroll TikTok for hours. And last week, I swear I saw a notification pop up on his phone from Kay with a heart emoji next to her name. He swiped it away so fast I couldn't read it, but that heart's burned into my brain. I don't have hard proof, and maybe I'm connecting dots that aren't there, but it's eating me alive. I love him, and the thought of him with her, this younger, flirty coworker who probably doesn't have the baggage of a longer relationship, it's breaking my heart. Has anyone else been through this? How do I even bring it up without sounding like a lunatic? Or should I just snoop and get it over with? Help me, Reddit, I'm losing it. Update 1. Hey Reddit, I want to start by thanking everyone who commented on my post and offered advice. Your responses were overwhelming, and while some were comforting, others made me even more suspicious. I think it's safe to say that I'm officially in full-blown detective mode now. Things have been happening over the last few days that have only made me more convinced something is going on. So, after reading your comments, I realized I've been ignoring my gut instinct for far too long, and I needed to get to the bottom of this. The first thing I decided to do was try and get some concrete evidence, or at least get a sense of whether I'm just imagining things or if something is really wrong. I started paying more attention to the little things, the things I had brushed off before as insignificant. One thing I noticed was the amount of time he was spending on his phone. Like I mentioned before, he's been glued to it, even more than usual. It's gotten to the point where he takes his phone into the bathroom with him, which has never been the case before. When he's in the bathroom, he always locks the door, which was something he didn't do in the past. I also noticed that when he's on his phone, he keeps it facing down on the table, on the couch, or even when we're out to dinner. Before, he didn't mind leaving it around. I could see the occasional text message pop up, but now, when I glance at his phone, he's quick to flip it over, almost like he's hiding something. I decided to try asking him again, but this time I phrased it a little differently. Are you seeing anyone from work? You've been talking about Kay a lot, and I don't know, I'm starting to feel a little weird about it. He laughed it off, like he always does. She's just a coworker, he said, and then added, You're being paranoid. I knew it was a bit of a weird question, but his response didn't sit right with me. I felt like he was being dismissive of my concerns, instead of acknowledging them. Then came the big one. I had planned to confront him about the heart emoji I saw on his phone last week. I couldn't stop thinking about it. The sight of it was burned into my mind. But before I could even bring it up, he got home from work, and I noticed a takeout bag from the Thai place we both love sitting in the passenger seat of his car. No leftovers, no extra food for me. We always share meals from there. But this time, he came in empty-handed. I didn't say anything that night, but I've been losing sleep over it. Is it just me overthinking everything? Or am I onto something? I've decided to start snooping through his phone though, which I know isn't great, but I just feel like I need answers. I'll keep you all updated on what I find. Thanks again for all your support so far, and I really need to know if I'm doing the right thing. Update 2. Okay, Reddit, I'm back, and I need to tell you about what happened last night. It's been a whirlwind 24 hours, and I'm honestly a mess right now. After my last post, I started getting even more anxious about everything. The phone stuff, the heart emoji, the dinners without me, and the emotional distance. It all kept circling in my head. So, I did something I never thought I would. I snooped through his phone. I feel guilty about it, but at this point, I didn't know what else to do. I wasn't planning on finding anything too incriminating, but I needed some sort of confirmation. I knew I wouldn't feel peace until I found out for sure. When he was in the shower, I grabbed his phone off the nightstand. I didn't want to snoop, but I felt like I had no choice. The first thing I did was check his text messages. I scrolled past the usual messages from his friends, but then I saw a conversation that stopped my heart. It was a thread with Kay, and there were a few messages that made my blood run cold. One of the messages from Kay said, "Can't wait to see you tonight." And the one right after that was from him. "I've been thinking about you all day. Can't wait to hold you close." I couldn't breathe. My hands were shaking so badly that I nearly dropped the phone. I kept scrolling, and there were more messages, lots of them. Messages about meeting up after work, sneaking around, and how they couldn't wait for the next time they could be alone. But the kicker? He had saved Kay's name with a heart emoji next to it. So not only was he texting her in a way that was clearly romantic, but he was also hiding it behind this cute little heart. I couldn't take it anymore. I froze, staring at the screen. All my worst fears were confirmed in those few moments of scrolling through his messages. I couldn't believe it. I knew he had been distant, but this was next-level betrayal. I felt so sick, like I was going to throw up. I couldn't even tell if I was angry or hurt or both. I didn't know what to do. My mind was racing. I had two choices: confront him now or wait until he got home and see if he acted differently. I didn't want to jump the gun, but I knew I couldn't let this slide. I decided to confront him, and boy, did that not go the way I expected. Update 3. So, Reddit, after discovering everything on his phone, I decided to confront him. I wasn't going to let this go anymore. I felt like I had no choice. I couldn't just keep pretending like everything was fine when it so clearly wasn't. When he got home last night, I was sitting on the couch, staring at my phone like I was waiting for him to walk in. I'd been rehearsing what I was going to say all day, but when he walked through the door, all that went out the window. My heart was pounding so loudly, I thought he might hear it. "Hey," I said, trying to sound calm, but my voice cracked. "We need to talk." He looked at me, a little confused but not alarmed. "What's up?" he asked, dropping his bag on the floor. I took a deep breath. "I know about Kay. I saw the texts, the heart emojis. Everything." He froze. His face went pale, and for a second I thought he might confess, but instead he just stared at me like he didn't know what to say. Finally, after a long silence, he mumbled, "It's not what you think." I snapped. "It's exactly what I think. You've been texting her like you're in a relationship with her. You've been lying to me this whole time, and I can't even believe you'd do this after everything we've been through." He tried to calm me down, but it didn't work. I just couldn't stop. I saw everything on your phone. Don't lie to me. You've been hiding it from me, sneaking around behind my back, and now I'm supposed to just sit here and act like nothing's happening? I wasn't cheating on you, he finally said. I swear. But you're emotionally cheating. You're texting her like you're in a relationship, and you've been keeping it a secret from me. How is that not cheating? He seemed lost for words, but then he said, I was confused, okay? I didn't know how to talk to you about it. Kay and I, we've been close at work, and yeah, I might have crossed some boundaries, but it wasn't what you think. I didn't know what to say to that. Was he really this clueless? Was he trying to gaslight me? I had no idea. I don't know if I can trust you anymore, I said. I need some space to think about this. He begged me not to leave, but I couldn't stay there another minute. I grabbed my things and walked out, feeling a mixture of anger, heartbreak, and a sense of relief that I had finally confronted him. I don't know where we go from here, but I do know one thing. I'm done being in a relationship where I feel like I can't trust my partner. I just don't know if I'm ready to let go yet. Final update. Hey Reddit, I know I've been quiet for a while, but I needed some time to process everything. It's been a few weeks since I confronted my boyfriend, and I've had some time to think about everything that's happened. So here's where I'm at. After I left that night, I stayed with a friend for a few days. I needed space to clear my head. Honestly, I was still reeling from the confrontation. I had all this anger, confusion, and hurt inside me. I wasn't sure if I could even go back to him. Could I forgive him? Could I trust him again? I didn't know. But then he called me. A lot. He left me messages, and he kept apologizing. At first, I didn't pick up. I was so mad at him for what he did, and I wasn't ready to hear his excuses. But eventually, after a few days, I agreed to meet him and hear him out. He was extremely apologetic. He admitted that he had messed up and that he felt terrible for the way he treated me. He said he got caught up in the excitement of a new relationship at work and never intended to hurt me. It took a while, but I finally realized that I couldn't keep going back and forth like this. I either had to walk away or find a way to move forward. And after a lot of soul-searching, I decided to give him a chance to prove he could change. We've been working through things, slowly, but we're working on it. It's been hard, and I don't know if things will ever be the same, but I'm giving it a shot. So, to answer the question I asked myself when I first posted, I wasn't crazy. My instincts were right. Trust your gut, Reddit. You know what's up. Thanks for all your support throughout this. I don't know where things will go from here, but I feel like I've learned a lot about myself, about trust, and about how important it is to communicate.